You know, I remember as a kid growing up, it was always fun to be able to practice or play football on Thanksgiving morning. You know, I mean, there's just something about it. There's a uniqueness to it. And then you grow up, and in high school, when you're practicing on Thanksgiving, that means your team's pretty good. You know, you're pretty deep into the playoffs, and you're having a good experience. So there's always something uniquely special to me to come out, practice Thanksgiving morning, especially, you know, this week with an awesome opportunity, a great game against Notre Dame. You know, very cool, very cool. I think our kids were excited about it. They had a really upbeat, you know, energized practice. A lot of really cool things. You get a chance to go spend some time with family and friends now, and come back tomorrow to put the finishing touches on the game plan and get ready to go for Saturday.
I mean, we can only hear outside, but it sounded like they were really, just as you said. I mean, was that louder than normal? It just sounded like it.
Yeah, maybe, you know, maybe it might be a little giddy to you know, go eat good food with their mom's cooking and all that stuff too, you know. So, and again, I don't, you know, I wish there was a secret formula every time of exactly how you practice, how you're going to play. But I will say about this group, and I've been saying it all along, they have a unique ability to move forward and continue to try to get better. And I have a feeling that this week's not going to be much different. I think these guys came right back with a really intense week of practice. I thought Tuesday and Wednesday were very physical days, which were good. They came out today, you know, again, really upbeat, excited to be out here, and I'm, you know, I'm appreciative of that. You know, there's a lot of teams that don't respond the way we respond. We'll continue to strive moving forward to be on point every single week when we play, but I will say we do respond very well.
Where are we at with Bryce Dixon?
We'll let you know tomorrow. I mean, everything, again, the progression is right where it needs to be. He gets, you know, hopefully final clearance tomorrow, which is the goal.
You said earlier in the season that you had spoken to Buck Allen just kind of about looking for opportunities to get to the second level.
Right.
He struggled in the last, it seems like he struggled the last couple of games. Have you addressed anything?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we went back to cut-ups again, and we showed him stuff of himself. We showed him stuff of some other backs. You know, and a lot of times when you have so much success like Buck had there for that time, and then you have games where maybe there aren't the gaping holes. Maybe it is going to be one of those kind of grinded out games. You can, at times, maybe have a tendency to try to look for the big play. What we're trying to get Buck back to doing is run the run, and run physical, run hard, finish runs. And when those big runs present themselves, he'll take advantage of it because he's prepared and running that way. So that's the goal. That's what we want to see out of him Saturday.
How about in reviewing UCLA, there was a lot of stuff, obviously, that didn't go right. But Justin Davis, what did you
I thought Justin played hard. Justin's been running very hard. You know, he comes in, he runs with good pad level. He's physical. He's really, and I'll give Justin credit. You know, in training camp or in spring ball, his hands were a negative to his game. He worked on it through training camp, and he's continued to work on it all season long, and he's catching the ball well out of the backfield. He obviously had the touchdown catch last week. As you guys well know, the back catching the ball out of the backfield is a big option in our offense, and so it's been really good that when Justin goes in the game, we don't have to alter anything. We're just running our plays that best fit the situation.
How do you feel like Buck and Justin have held up physically since they've been
unbelievable
the whole season?
Unbelievable. I mean, when Trey went down early, and you know, when you have turf toe, you never really know, and to think that, you know, we were going to go through an entire season with 2 scholarship tailbacks, I mean, that's borderline absurd, you know, but we did it. It's a real credit to Johnny Nansen, our running back coach, of working those guys but getting them healthy each week. It's a real credit to our training staff and to our strength and conditioning staff of getting them in great shape, ready to play, because they've, you know, Buck's had a lot of carries. You know, this isn't like he's just been getting, you know, 10, 12 carries a game. He went through a stretch there where we were really leaning on him. Justin's ran physical, and those guys have responded really well. So unbelievable to think we've gone this many games with 2 scholarship tailbacks.
One of the issues you guys have had in recent games is it seems like the offense is bogged down in the third quarter. Do you know why that is and what you could do to kind of ignite things?
You know, we've been assessing it as a staff. Obviously, Clay and I have met extensively on kind of, you know, how impressive we've been in the first quarter of games, and then maybe how we have bogged down coming out of halftime, is not characteristic of us. You know, a year ago when I was at Washington, we are, I think, #1 in the country in first drives of the second half scoring touchdowns. I think we went in the regular season 10 out of 12 or something like that games where we scored a touchdown the first drive of the second half. So we've prided ourselves on really assessing and analyzing what we need to do at halftime to come out in the third quarter and do it. But for a variety of reasons, I think we only have 3 first drives of the second half touchdowns this year. I believe it's 3. You have to double check me on that. But so it's an ongoing process, you know. I mean, it's not for lack of trying. It's not for lack of analyzing situations and what we did well in the first half and what adjustments to make. It just hasn't hit exactly the way we would like to. So I think there's a lot of factors in that, but the biggest one is making sure that we're putting our players in the best position to be successful, and that they understand why we're putting them in those positions so that they go out and play really fast and confident football.
Speaking of being confident, how confident are you in the offensive line this week to be able to make a step from last week?
You know, I've been confident in these guys, you know, as the season's gone on, and my confidence has grown more and more with them. They didn't have a great game last week, and that's, you know, that's sports. You know, that sometimes that's going to happen. I don't think it was for lack of preparation. I think they went against a good front. I think, you know, there were times when we maybe could have gotten rid of the ball a little bit better too to help them out. And then when the game starts going that way, it's hard on any O-line when it's pin your ears back and rush the passer. So, you know, I'm aware of them. I'll watch them closely as the game goes on. You know, I want to play to their strengths too. I want them to be able to come off the football and be physical and all those things as well. It's not just protecting the passer. But all in all, and I've said this line, I've much praise for that group. For what they've accomplished as kind of the inexperience they started the season with, and as they've developed as the season's gone on. Last week wasn't their week. I expect them to rebound.
When you get into that situation, do you ever just say, you know, I've asked you this before, we're just going to throw it 60 times and see what the heck happens because we don't look like we're going to get to drive people off the ball?
There's times, Dan, I was concerned last week just with their pass rush ability. They've got some real pass rushers over there. That I just didn't think it would have been fair to those guys. We really started to get into that mode in the second quarter, and then we get the Hollins comes off the edge and beats Zach, and the ball gets tipped in the air, and UCLA gets the interception. So, you know, you just try to do what's best for your team, and there may come a day when we do that. You know, I don't know, but you know, it's a fine line of making that drastic of a decision.
You had said you gave them kind of a homework assignment. You know what they were thankful for. Any common themes that came out, and any surprises?
No, they were very grateful. They were all prepared, which was really cool. You know, and that they really were proud of what they were thankful for, and that's a good sign. You know, I mean, these guys have a wonderful opportunity here at SC. You know, to be a football player, to be a student athlete here, to be surrounded by phenomenal people, not just athletically, but socially, academically, and they understand that, and that's really cool to see.
Go ahead.
Did you contact the Pac-12 about the Kendricks interception? It looked like he landed out of bounds.
Yeah, they confirmed that he was in bounds. They had a pretty good shot from the TV copy they were able to zoom in on, and they confirmed it. It was a heck of a play. It was, I mean, about as close as you could get, you know, quite honestly, of when he got possession of the ball and when he was still in bounds. But they deemed it a catch, so move forward.
That was the issue. Did he actually?
Yeah, and that's bang bang, and it's really. You could probably argue it either way still, but it's a judgment call. They went with their call, and they confirmed their call. So it is what it is.
Given the trajectory of the 2 seasons for USC and Notre Dame, do you get the sense that there's kind of 2 desperate teams facing each other Saturday? And if so, how does that affect them?
I think the seasons are very paralleled. You know, I think both teams have, as I said yesterday, have had games that they would love to have back. You know, of how they were handled late in the game, and games that both teams felt like they were in control of, and it eventually ended up losing. I think both teams obviously are proud programs with really good players and coaches, and both teams want to get the momentum swing back in a positive direction into the off season and all that. I think what you're going to see is 2 teams play a really good football game, that are going to play with amazing effort, relentless effort, that are going to be fighting for a win, and that's, you know, that's all you can ask for in late November. I think it sets up for a great matchup.
Are you going to have out-of-town kids at your house for Thanksgiving?
No, everybody's got a place to go,
They do.
which is great. Everybody's got a place to go. I think they, the guys are excited to take some kids home. Actually, I know they're all bragging about whose mama's cooking's better than the other one. So next year we might have to have a cook-off. We'll see.
Is the team off for the rest of the day?
If they're off today, and we come back tomorrow and just continue regular preparation, which really would be no different than any Thursday for us. You know, on a normal Thursday, we'd already be done, and the guys would be off to class and doing that stuff. So.
One thing we didn't see, I mean, it's all three, I guess, seniors with their high school jerseys. Didn't really see the tunnel for the season. Is that stuff that just kind of gone by the wayside?
No, we do the tunnel for literally their last practice. So we know we're going to a bowl game.
You're gonna do that?
Yeah,
okay, then.
We'll do it then. Hopefully we get about 15 more practices here, which are much needed for a lot of reasons, but obviously we get to recognize them then. We did a really cool kind of video tribute to them here this morning for their senior day at the Coliseum, kind of a reflection of their big plays over the last 4 years here, and some pretty cool moments for those guys.
Did you include Leonard?
No, he's not a senior.
He's good.
Great.